Well, to talk more about this and other issues affecting the migration crisis in Greece, we're happy to be joined by Nikos Zidakis, the Greek Deputy Foreign Minister for European Affairs. Thank you so very much for being with us today.
Thank you. Good morning.
Mr. Zidakis, more deportations are being planned, and you've previously condemned them. You've said pushing back refugees into Turkey is political opportunism, but isn't that, in fact, what's happening right now under the Greek government?
Actually, it's not deportation. It's return. And it's a part of a huge joint action plan and an agreement between European Union and Turkey. It's not a bilateral relationship. It's not a unilateral action. 28 member states of the Union have agreed, and Turkey also, and is a part of a very new and a very unprecedented agreement. But this crisis also is unprecedented, and we have to think and act out of the box, not in the best way, but in the best possible way.
Okay, the UNHCR, humanitarian organizations, have pulled out of the reception camps, the centers for migrants, because they say they object to asylum seekers being detained there. How's this affecting your work in helping migrants in Greece right now?
It's not actually detained centers. It's centers that are closed structures. People that are registered and waiting for the procedure of their application must stay somewhere. We cannot miss them. If they are going to be returned, we have to find them. This happens everywhere. It's not only in the islands.
Last Saturday, you told a meeting of your European counterparts that Greece is facing an enormous task in identifying, housing, taking care of asylum seekers and refugees. How are you coping right now? Are you getting enough help?
Not enough, but it gets better. We need mostly people, experts for the asylum service. This is the need we're looking for to cover. This is the top priority. And also we need the response of the colleagues, the member states in the Union, for the relocation scheme. The relocation scheme is the most important tool for managing the refugee crisis. And the response is very, very low. It's disappointing. It's a disappointment for the leaders of European Union in Brussels that planned that. And it's a disappointment as a political behavior from the member states.
Okay, so you're not getting enough help from your EU partners. You're disappointed.
Nobody wants to help now.
Okay.
In the relocation scheme, except for Holland, France, and some countries that participate.
So the relocation from Greece to the EU countries is not happening the way it should be as part of this plan.
The target set by Commission was 3,000 people for March. And so far, only since 23 of September was the agreement. About 1,100 people have been relocated, both from Greece and Italy. Okay. And the target is 160,000 in total.
Okay, so it's falling very far short.
It's almost ridiculous.
Okay, Mr. Zidakis, Greece's Deputy Foreign Minister for European Affairs. Stay with us if you could. We'd like to talk about a few more questions in just a bit. Pope Francis and his Orthodox counterpart, Patriarch Bartholomew, are due to visit the Greek island of Lesbos tomorrow in a show of solidarity with the migrants there. Now, it's a big occasion for both the migrants and local residents, as our next report shows.
No borders, no nations. These are slogans that some would rather the Pope didn't see. So they are painting over the critical graffiti at the Moria refugee camp, the biggest of its kind on the Greek island of Lesbos.
This fortress behind me will be the first stop for Pope Francis on his visit. There, he will meet some of the 3,500 refugees that are waiting behind these walls for their asylum claims to be processed. They are sealed off from the outside world and guarded around the clock.
It is a completely different world just a few kilometers away. The holiday paradise of Lesbos. But since last year, the island has become a symbol for the plight of the migrants. Around 700,000 have come here by boat in the last 12 months. And it's their fate that concerns Father Leon. He's the only Catholic priest on the island, and on Saturday he will be the pontiff's translator. The Pope isn't coming here to perform or to make a gesture or to be filmed by the cameras. He wants to meet refugees and shake their hands. He wants to see the reality, and I, at least, will not be hiding anything from him. But Father Leon will only be able to tell the Pope about conditions on other parts of the island. The schedule is tight. Pope Francis won't be visiting this place, for example. 1,300 migrants in an open camp on the east of the island. Their status is particularly precarious, but still, they are pinning their hopes on the Pope.
There is hope that if he came and saw the situation, he might help a lot, but I've got no idea what's the things that he might help in.
People, Europa, listen to your Papa. Everybody here talk about Baba coming here.
He will help even by his words. It's very nice thing. Anyone help, even in one word, is enough for us.
The citizens of Lesbos are also hoping the visit will give them a boost. Today, Deputy Mayor George Katsanos is hoisting the European flag. Ever since the start of the migrant crisis, people here have felt abandoned, especially by the EU. The whole world will be looking at our island, and I think that will do a lot of good. The world finally needs to give us support here on Lesbos. But it is unlikely that the Pope's visit will have any effect on Europe's migrant policy. The next major wave of deportations could come as early as Monday, and many of these migrants will then be taken from the camp in Moria back to Turkey.
And we're back again with Nikos Zodakis. We're happy to have him with us, Greece's Deputy Foreign Minister for European Affairs. Thanks again for being with us. As we saw there, the heads of both the Greek and Catholic churches are set to be in your country. They take a very personal interest in the migration crisis, of course, and they say Greece has a duty to help refugees. For you as Deputy Foreign Minister, what does that mean in concrete terms?
We have the good luck and the bad luck of geography in the East Mediterranean. The bad luck is that many people want to pass by Greece and to go to North Europe. We have to cope with. And but at the same moment, this historical phenomenon finds us in a situation that we are very tired, exhausted from a 6 years financial crisis. Nevertheless, we have done everything it could be, and the Greek people have behaved in a very nice way. We are proud about this behavior, and we have behaved like Europe should in this period.
In a humanitarian fashion, you're saying?
Yes. There are some countries, some states in Europe that saved the honor for the whole Europe.
Okay, well,
Germany was one of that. Sweden was one of that.
I'd like to ask you about the Pope and Patriarch Bartholomew, of course, as well, being on Lesbos. What do you hope to come out of that visit?
Nothing practical directly, but the symbolism is high. And in politics, in media, in everyday communication, symbolism is the most valuable asset. People have to take the message and to take something for themselves. And I think Pope Francis and Patriarch Bartholomew are big leaders with an international appeal. Francis is new in this place in Vatican and has proved that he is a very sensible and very radical man. He will be written with bright letters in the history of Catholic Church and European politics.
Okay, I'm sure many people are looking forward to in Greece that visit by both the Patriarch and the Pope to Lesbos.
It's a great message for the Mediterranean and for Europe.
Nikos Zarakis, Greece's Deputy Foreign Minister for European Affairs. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.